Hello and welcome to VChess. My name is Naiditsch, and today we will play some rapid games and I will explain during the games my thought on the games. So let's start with a 10-minute game, so rapid chess. Let me see. I think the music is a bit too much. So now it should be good, I think. Let's go. d4, knight to f6. Let me double check if everything is working. Yes, it seems to work. Bishop on f4, g6. So we have once again I try to play the London system. It seems to be very popular, especially online. Over the board also popular, but maybe not as much as online. Let's see what happens next. So knight on f3, bishop on g7, all is pretty normal. Short castle, king is very safe. Now we can still consider to play d5 or to play the move d6. I like the move d6 against the bishop on f4. The idea is to play knight e7 and then we are getting ready for the move e5, queen on c2. So we have the option of playing knight h5, for example, or maybe the simple option of playing rook e8 followed with the move e5. So e5 looks good. Let's play it. Let's take idea e4 next. So here we have bishop on g5, e4, bishop takes e4, and because of the pin we are not winning yet the game. So let's play the move h6 to get rid of the pin here. White seems to be yes to take. Probably there is nothing else, so we take back. And should we put the queen to e7? Looks good. We are getting ready for it. Let's see what is going to happen next. I guess white should also probably play the move e4, but obviously bishop pair now for black. So long term, somewhere in an endgame, we might be doing extremely well. e4 and knight h5 is quite typical, so we want to get to the f4 square. In case of g3, the bishop on c8 will get very powerful. So yes, this is what we want to play next. Knight on b3, so we can go with the move knight f4. And bishop on g4 looking pretty nice. As well, simple ideas like just to take somewhere on e2 also looks not so bad. Also we can get aggressive with g5, g4, but I don't know if this is a good idea, but I think it is quite an interesting idea. So let's try to play the move g5. Usually not the best approach to play g5 because we have the weakness here on f5, but currently I don't think the knight from b3 can get to f5 very far away. So we might be able to push here a little bit with the move g4 next, and then let's see. What happens. The bishop from c8 might go to e6. So by the way, it's very interesting to play bishop on g4 first, just not to give a chance here to escape later, or just to take is also good, but maybe we can play the move bishop g4. I really like it. It feels a bit strange to play g5 then bishop g4, but as well the move rook e1 doesn't seem like it's so powerful, so maybe g5 is going to be useful somewhere. So the idea is to play g4 eventually when it's time for the move g4. Welcome to the chat. In case you have some questions, please do ask the questions. I would be happy to answer them in case I can. So let's maybe play the move bishop h5. As we said, the idea of g4 might be very powerful, especially now the knight on f3, no squares to go. So actually we want to win a full piece now by playing the move g4. Is there a way for white to do something against the move g4? Not so easy. We have the move queen on b3 played. But what happens if in case I go the g4? I think I'm just winning a piece. So g4, I want to take the knight on f3. And it seems like the knight has no squares to go. So that's it, probably. Piece up for black. Piece up is usually enough to win the game. Let's see what happens next. No moves by our opponent. Well, he should have thought a little bit more earlier, because now just too late. The knight is hanging here on f3. No way to defend the knight. So knight on d4, obviously just knight more. Here we also can just take, so position looks completely hopeless. To fight with a piece down, very, very difficult. Good evening, yes, good evening. Hadi BM every day with us, or almost every day, so welcome. Don't be shy, please write your comments in the chat section. Knight takes e5, so we have a sacrifice here by white. Now we can just take bishop takes e5, looks good. To take first on e2 also looks good. So because the bishop is gonna go to f1, maybe let's take first, and then we're gonna capture the knight with a bishop. So it might be, I don't know if there is a difference. It should make no difference. But piece up should be enough to win the game. In a normal case, there is g3 coming, so white is defending from the move g3 by playing g3, so now we get the bishop back into the game. Bishop on g6. Looks like a great position. So, I see a question in the chat. Do you know Boxer play chess? He is also a chess streamer. No, I don't know. I struggle a lot against d4, c4 opening. Advice, it depends. As I said many times, I don't think opening matters a lot. So I think it's just an excuse if something goes bad. So you can say, oh, I played badly in the opening, that's why something else went wrong. Opening does not matter, in my opinion. In case you like to play more tactical, then go for a King's Indian, for example. In case you like to play more solid chess, go for Queen's Gambit, one of the most solid openings. And as well as we can see during the candidates, Queen's Gambit is a beast. So many games on Queen's Gambit, so fantastic opening for black. Currently, my opponent is fighting, being all the material down. I guess that's it. We take the rook on b1. It should be over. It should be over now. White to fight till the checkmate. There is no reason, so we will see soon a new game. No more questions in the chat, everyone. So shy. There are no bad questions, so in case you would like to know something chess-wise, maybe some players that you've been curious about, please ask. I played against many of the top players myself, so I might tell you something about. Alright, so first game, we won it, good start. Alright, let's continue with the rapid chess, so start a new game. Welcome to everyone in the chat. I have see a question, do you accept challenges? No, I'm just playing against whoever comes here, random on chess.com. We have the Sicilian, e4, c5, knight f3 is a main line. I see a question in the chat, how to improve tactics. There's only one way to improve the tactics, just solve a lot of puzzles, and this is most efficient and most simple solution, just solve. That's it. In case you solve a lot of puzzles, you are going to be a monster in tactics. As well, the top chess players doing exactly this. All of them are solving a lot of puzzles. You want to be sharp, just solve the puzzles. All right, let's take a look at the current position. What do we have here? A little bit strange position, a6, not very useful. On the other hand, I have the bishop on g2, so maybe I can try c3, d4, would be quite typical. As well, we might sacrifice here with a move b4. Maybe a nice play, by the way, b4, because this move a6 looks completely useless, in my opinion, so we might get a little bit more riskier with the move b4, quite typical play before a3. Sorry, made in the wrong arrow. So a3, we sacrifice the second pawn in case black takes. We want to go bishop takes a3. As you can see, the bishop is here very, very powerful. And then we're gonna try to play the move d4, or to play knight on c3, knight on d5. So I guess after the move d6, let's push d4, or should we not push d4? c3, d4 also looks pretty interesting. So I don't know which one should I play here. Both is possible. Let's maybe go with, hard to say. Okay, let's go with a move d4. A little bit more aggressive. I always make the arrow wrong direction. So yes, I see some comments struggled against d4. Nimzo Indian. Nimzo Indian, of course. Very, very solid opening. Definitely, yeah. Nothing wrong. I played Nimzo as main opening with the black pieces for a very, very long time. I like to play the Nimzo, but Nimzo is a little bit difficult opening to play because you have so many different positions. So Nimzo is an opening which you cannot just start playing. You have to get really well prepared in Nimzo. So Nimzo, not so easy in my opinion. What do we have here? We have pawn down for white. I have a little bit better pieces at the moment. So knight d4, knight c3. I'm pushing a little bit in the center. Maybe knight on d5 next. Or should I play just queen on d2, followed by the move rook to d1 with the pressure on d6? Looks not so bad. As well, maybe I should just go back and try to take the pawn on d6. Looks a bit passive, but is also not so bad. So many options here. What should we do? What should we play here? Knight on d5, knight on e2, winning the pawn on d6, because I don't think there is a way to defend the pawn. So is it a better position if I just go knight e2, he goes knight on c6, I take the pawn? I'm not sure that I'm better. It's an interesting position to play, but I'm not 100% sure that I'm better. What else can we do? Something like a rook to b1. Possible immediately to play the move for rook to b1. Many options. Let's think. With black, knight on c6. This is what we will see next. Most probably. So, what should I play here? I'm not sure. Maybe it's just the best to try to win the pawn back, but somehow it feels like to go back usually not the best decision in case we would like to push. So I don't know. So I see the question in the chat, what is a g3 setup against Sicilian? But it's not the g3 setup against Sicilian, it's because we have the move order of e4, c5, knight f3, a6. So a6 is mate, that's why g3 is not looking like a bad option. Bishop here on g4. That makes sense, because in case I take now, take, bishop takes e2, I take, and bishop takes a1. So I might lose an exchange. Not a good idea. Let's go with the move f3. I would like to win the pawn on d6 next in case I can. Bishop on e6, very normal. I take, probably he's going to take, I'm gonna take back, and we have more or less an equal position in my opinion. This endgame looks equal, so knight c6 immediately, yes, why not, is making sense, of course. I have to bring the rook into the game from f1, so maybe a rook on d1 is looking like something normal. To get a little bit pressure here. My idea would be long run, of course, to get rid of this very, very unpleasant pin here. And afterwards to start pushing. b5, nice move by my opponent. There is b4 coming immediately. I think I can win a pawn, no? Take, 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 take. Then I take on e7 and then I take the pawn on a6. I would be winning a pawn, but then there is this b4 coming next. And the thing is, I believe I should not win this pawn. It doesn't look like a great idea to win the pawn. So we have a problem here with the move b4. Maybe it's time to move the queen, for example, to c5. But does it help me to solve the problems? Maybe. So let's go with the move queen on c5. I attack here. The black queen on d8. So yes, welcome everyone. Good evening from the Emirates. I hope you're having a good day. In case you have some questions, please do ask them. I would be glad if I can answer them. Of course, just questions. So here we have an educational stream, so I would like to be quite strict regarding that. No random stuff like we have on many other channels. So we try to be more serious on this channel, so it's getting more useful. All right, we have still the idea of b4 coming next. What to do with the idea? I have to play rook to b1, at least to put the rook versus the pawn, so there's no more b4 or no immediate b4, let's call it like that. Maybe knight f4 is coming next. I don't like my position here with white so much. I think it's quite a complex position. Whoa. b4, he's sacrificing the pawn on b4. Is it something I don't see, or what happens in case I take? I don't know exactly, so I take. Let's see, what is the point of that? Rook takes, looks like a normal decision. So let me take it. This kind of pawn sacrifice, yes, the bishop is of course extremely good here on g7. By the way, I would have played queen a7 to go for an endgame, and here's the a pawn, so I think it would be more or less equal. Yes, white was a pawn up, but pawn up sometimes is not enough. So in case we take, black takes here, we get the bishop, but then we're most probably going to lose the pawn on c2. It's going to be very, very difficult to win the position, but maybe it's just too late to play for a win. I think it might be just equal, but all right, we have to take because I don't see something else. Black is going to take on c3, obviously, so we will also take it back. And we have this kind of position, which I would say is completely equal, in my opinion. I think I have to take, so there is nothing else. And the problem is I cannot defend the pawn on c2. There is no way to defend the pawn. And in case queen takes, the rook is hanging. So I think I have to play like rook to d4. The idea of black is to push the a pawn, obviously. But I'm going to push here the pawn f4, f5, trying to do something on the king side. It doesn't look dangerous, and obviously it is not dangerous, but I believe that the position should be still approximately equal. Maybe first h4, h5 could be an idea, just to have this king on h2 next. Let me play a couple of moves and then I will try to read the chat. I have this idea of rook to d8 in a good moment, or to play the move f4 immediately. Is it time to push? I don't know. It doesn't feel like the best idea ever to push. There is bishop g4, but I go rook on d2, so maybe I can try to push. Actually, not so bad, just it feels so risky. It feels like, I don't know, I don't feel like it is a way to play here. To sacrifice a pawn also doesn't look it's time for it. So maybe we will play first something like king on h2 because it's useful, and then to put the rook on the second rank because it's also useful, and getting ready to play the move f4. So, I see some comments in the chat. I will read after the game, but I see a comment, where is the girl? Where is the girl, bro? I mean, what is that? What is this kind of level of conversation? This is not what we have here on the channel. Rook on e8, so I can go for rook d8, but it's gonna be a draw, so I should try to keep as many pieces on the board as I can. With queen on g5, so getting ready. f4, f5, it's a very interesting position. It should be approximately equal, but it's like very, very playable for both. The idea of white, of black, get the pawn to a1. My idea is to play the move f4. Just, I need to get ready to play the move f4, to play immediately. Should I? Is it time to play the move f4? Could it be the right choice? Risky. I'm not very convinced that I should do that, but maybe, because I want to go f5 next and then maybe to take on g6. So very, very interesting position. For example, bishop on g4. Now, of course, I can go rook to d2, or I play the move f5 and then take on g6. Also very, very interesting. No idea how to evaluate something like that. Who is better, actually? Take. Okay, let's go for it. Let's go crazy, or it's not yet the time to go crazy. This is a question. I'm not sure. Like, I'm not sure at all. Maybe it's not a checkmate. Or it is a checkmate. Is it a checkmate or is it not a checkmate? Very difficult to say. Might be a checkmate, but maybe I'm just lost there. So I don't think it is a checkmate. So I should do something with my rook here. The problem is if I play rook e1, there is this rook on b2 coming next, so this I don't like so much. I think I should play rook on d2. I don't see something else that white is capable of doing, so I play it. Now I see only one way to play for black. It is to play queen on c1. I see nothing else with the idea of playing rook to b1, and now it's black who wants to checkmate. So I can play rook on d8, and this is gonna be more or less equal. We have black with queen c7, very strange move, so it allows me to push f5. Usually it's a good idea to play the move f5, very, very dangerous now, I think, for black. Black should usually not allow the move f5. To allow f5, it leads to nothing good. In most of the cases, also here, the rook on f2 can join the game in case it's needed. Or queen on e7. So I can take to go for an endgame, or I play f6, but then there is queen on e5, and also this is looking like a better position, but I don't know. I think I have to go for endgame here. I didn't want to go for endgame. It's close to a draw, but I saw nothing better than to go for endgame. Also, I have to hurry a little bit. Slow play by me. So I have to play faster. Pawn up for weight, but it's not much. So some rook endgames might be good for white in case I manage somehow to sneak king h3, king h4, but it's going to be very, very difficult to manage, obviously. Let's go with the move for rook to d6. Not a bad idea to attack the pawn there. Maybe g6 next in case I can. I have as well here as a check on f2. Maybe I should have played rook on d5, by the way. But okay, difficult to say. Again, difficult to say. Position should be a draw. But white is pushing like a little bit. So let's go with the move g6 and let's get the rook to a6. Rook behind the pawn, excellent position. I have the rook here on the second file as well. So let me try to win the pawn on a5. I'm not sure it's enough to win the game, but to win a pawn, not a bad idea, because I don't think I have something better. I have to place this position with a pawn up. Oh, he defends. Very risky play by the guy, by the way. So let's play the move rook to c2. Probably he comes back with a rook. And how can I try to win the position? Not so easy to try to win the position here. I have a little idea. So let's go here. I would like to give him this check, rook on f7. But he can just go back. Yeah. How can I try to win it? Okay, let's go here to attack the pawn again. So he returns. Now let's go here. Can I try to play the move rook to d5 next? Is it a way to play for a win, or is it just a simple draw? Yeah, very difficult to play here for a win. I think I have to try to get my king into the game. This is like the only way to try to win the current position. It should be a draw, but black is fighting, so no risk for white here. And maybe with a bit of luck, I will be able to push a little bit. Okay, let's go there. Now he can just take the pawn. Yes, this was a very bad move. Why I did this? Why I did this move? Now it should be just a draw. He returns. Strange. Okay, let's get closer with the king. Of course, he can take the pawn. This is obvious, but I will be hoping that I can get a king to f4. So little chances left for white to win the game. No big chances, obviously, but little chances. So let's go here. Now let's check the guy. So, no. We should not check. We should play e5. This check is... no, it's such a blunder. Bishop f5. Maybe possible. No. What I'm doing, why I didn't take it? This is bad play by me. I could just take the pawn. Yeah, terrible. This was just a terrible play. Still, maybe just a draw, but I have to be careful here. This was really poor play by me. So let's go up. There is no rook to g2 because I take it. And no checks, so we have to put the bishop here. Still, it is a draw. The position is a draw. But I should have played better. I should have played way better. I have to return because I don't see some great moves. And probably he's going to give me now perpetual check, I guess. No perpetual check. What should I do here? Okay, let's push the pawn. Let's go here. Let's go here. Just to make a move fast, because... by the way, I completely missed, I think. Is it just lost now? Or... yeah, I think I'm lost. I think the pawn is just moving and I cannot stop it. So... it looks completely lost, but so little time on the clock. Everything is possible. He gives me a chance. He gives me a chance. Why he does it, I don't understand. Maybe he has missed something. Now we have a little chance to win the game. Of course, the chance is not so big. Now we're gonna win. Now we took the bishop. And very lucky to win the game. In the end, we win it. But yeah, first... I think it was an interesting game. In the end, just random moves, so little time on the clock, and yeah, in the end, lucky, lucky, lucky. So, interesting game. Interesting game. Very, very sharp in the middle game. Then we had this little bit better end game, and in the end, lucky, lucky me to win the game. I think he has missed that he cannot play h1 queen because otherwise he would have done it. So quite lucky in the end. So in case you enjoy chess like that, like, subscribe. That would help us to grow. So let me read for a second. Yeah, blunders can happen anytime, and obviously it was a tough game, little time on the clock, so difficult. I'm also not very good when it comes to seconds. I'm very slow with my mouse, so it was lucky win, but alright, sometimes we are lucky, sometimes we're not, so it's always a fight. So, what do we have here? We have a strange opening with a 4. It's not the best ever, but it's not like super bad. So some people say it's like super bad. This is not true. It's very playable, like most of the moves. Not the best, yes, but is it super bad? No. Can we catch the bishop on b5? This would be crazy if we can catch the bishop, but I don't think we can, or can we? Can we do something funny like this? I don't know. Let's try. Let's try something very, very funny. To play knight on b4, so the idea is to play a6 and to catch the bishop. Simple idea. A little bit crazy because something like this usually doesn't work. Not the best to try to catch the bishop. Difficult to catch the bishop, but accidental chance. Sometimes it does work. So this is what we try to play the move knight on d5, or even knight takes c2. Then we have this kind of a6 b5 idea, or to play knight on d5. Yeah, knight d5 first, I think, because we're trying to get the e3 pawn. And do I have knight on g4, by the way? Also to take is very good for black, but or a6 b5 also good. Many good options here. Which one to take? Not sure, but maybe knight on g4. So we continue playing crazy chess. Maybe it will work with a bit of luck. Let's see. No music today. I see it in the chat. No music? You don't hear music? Oh, let me make it a little bit louder. No? Do you hear some music? Music? Or still no music? I think. No. Chess plus music. Alright, so now we have music and chess. Bishop on c1. What a passive way to play the position. What is that? Bishop on c1. Okay, let's go with the move bishop f6, no? Just trying to get the rook on a1. Feels like the right decision to play the move bishop on f6. It looks like a very nice position for black. Bishop still out of the game. Rook a2. Look at the pieces of white. How can this be a good position for white? Impossible. Can we get the bishop on b5 somehow? Not so easy to get the bishop, by the way. It feels like it should be completely over, but not yet, not yet. How can we catch the bishop here? Is there a way? I don't see it. I don't see how to catch the bishop. We can go back, but don't like it. So I think let's go just for a better position, because I don't see something more. a6, bishop has to go here, and I would like to take. Let's take. So black is just gonna be better. Pity, because it felt like we are very close to win the game, but maybe there is no win, so just a better position, which of course It's not so bad, but it's not a win. So let's go with the move b5. We open the b7 square for the bishop, so next we're gonna win the bishop on c4. So what do we have? Help me, I'm 1950 or 2000. Can I defeat 1800 FIDE player in rapid tournament? How to help you? How to help you? What is exactly your question? So, knight on c4. Knight gets on e5? Maybe, but is it so dangerous? Not sure. So should we play positional d6 or get the bishop to b7 immediately? There's knight e5 coming with the idea knight g4. I don't know if I should let it happen. So maybe just easy move d6 first. Let's get ready for the move bishop on b7 next. So we try to play a very positional game. We have bishop pair. So long run black is having a beautiful perspective. Bishop pair is so good. So we have the move b4. Okay, bishop b7 looks good. To take is also possible, but I think we should just play the move bishop on b7. Looks like solid response. Probably white is gonna take here, and then let's go for the endgame. Let's play the endgame. So I see a question. I'm 1915 rapid online. I'm currently unrated. Going to play a chess tournament on 19th of April, but I fear 1800 FIDE players can be able to defeat. Okay, just don't be afraid. If you're playing chess to be afraid, you should not play chess. You must play the game of chess in case you're enjoying. So in case you go for a chess game, you cannot have this kind of feeling of being afraid. This is absolutely wrong. So don't be afraid, just do the best you can. Enjoy the game. Yes, Fearless indeed. Maybe some of you remember the movie Fearless with Jet Li, I think is the movie Fearless. Great movie. What do we have here? Endgame, bishop pair. So black is doing very nice, but it's a big fight. So let's go with a move. Maybe bishop on d5. Does it work? Maybe. Okay, let's go with a move bishop d5. Maybe not a bad move, because at the current moment, knight d7, we have bishop on d4. So now rook on a2, not the best piece ever. Question is it possible to win this position with the black pieces? So this is something that we will see, and depends how the game is going to go, but black is doing better. This is out of question. Let's see what happens next. So rook on b2. Okay, let's take. So we have this kind of rook endgame where, okay, not yet rook endgame, but maybe at some point I will have to take. So we have better position for black, but is it much better? This is the question. So not sure where to put the rook here. Rook goes to the 7th rank. I would not like to let the white rook enter the 7th rank, so maybe we have something crazy like the move g5 now. Could be very interesting in my opinion. But is it a good play? Maybe not a bad one. So let's try with the move g5. We make simultaneously two things. We accomplish two things. We make, of course, the king g7 available. And as well, g takes f4 is looking very powerful, because it's gonna be so useful in some endgames. To take and then to take on e5, so not to take immediately. This is the idea of the move g5. Looks pretty nice. Not 100% sure, but by the feeling, it looks like a move that deserves attention. Next move might be rook on b8, so I think to change one pair of rooks is not a bad idea for black. Is it a win or is it a draw? No idea, no idea. I think we have some winning chances, but still everything is equal. So let's see how game develops next. Also, we can just go rook on a7 and then to put the rook on d8, so we control everything. And eventually getting ready to take on e5 and somehow get to the pawn e5 is a possibility as well. Let's see. g3, so somehow I feel, I don't know, by the feeling I should change one pair of rooks. This is a feeling I have. Not 100% sure, but just by the feeling. With two pair of rooks, I feel like he will have quite decent chances to get some counterplay. So maybe let's change one pair of rooks in case we can. And after, we're gonna see what happens next. So, what could be the next move for white? I believe rook to b3. Rook to b3, because it makes sense. In case of knight on d7, here is the rook hanging on b2 as well. I have intermediate move. In case of knight d7, bishop d4 check. So at the moment, he cannot really fork me. Rook on d8 is looking not so bad, but yeah, no tricks. Rook d8. I think rook d8 is good because knight takes f7 would be very, very beautiful, but there is a check, bishop d4, and then to take. Because in case of king takes, of course, there is fg. But I have this intermediate move, so this is good. In case rook on b1, now I'm gonna take, of course, on b3, and in case white wants to make the pawns better, then I will be very, very active here with the rook on the second rank, or I take and play rook on d4, so couple of options. In case knight on c6, this would force me to take on b3, but then the rook gets to d3. I try to be as active as I can in an endgame. Currently, I still have the bishop available, so bishop could be very, very powerful. Maybe in a good moment I'm gonna change my bishop versus the knight on e5, but I have to choose the right moment. What can be done by white? Rook on f3, maybe not a bad idea, yeah, but the question is, what is the threat? Maybe I will just take here, take, and then there's no threat for white. Okay, let's see, what can we do here? I can take and then try to be very, very active, but is it enough to win the game? Maybe not a bad idea, but is it a great idea? That is the question. Can I do something more evil? I don't know, because after king on g2, there are many tricks now. Many tricks for white. I have to be very, very careful here. Maybe to play rook to d2 is not a bad idea, and then to play rook on d8, I guess. Not 100% sure, by the way, but maybe not a bad move to get rook to d8. So I just want somehow to get slightly better endgame because I have this better pawn structure. But is it the way? Is it the way to a better position? As well, the pieces of white pretty well positioned, and obviously with black it's very easy. I could have taken, but I think it would be very, very close to a draw. So I try to avoid this drawish rook end games. In the best case scenario, this is my idea. Currently 3 minutes 46 for us, and there's 2 minutes 30 for the opponent, so very little time for the opponent, by the way. Now it's getting interesting. So if I take, there is c takes, but maybe not a bad idea, so let's take. In case knight takes, we have this bishop versus knight situation. I think it should be favorable for black. He takes was a pawn as expected. Now it's interesting. This pawn end game is not the way to go, but I thought I should maybe play the move rook to d1 first. Is it a good move? Is it a good move? Let's see. Rook is there. Next, bishop takes e5 and rook to d3. So easy threat. Easy threat. How can white defend? Very passive. So this is a very, very passive defense. Usually passive defense is not a bad idea, but at the current position I would choose with white to be more aggressive. So I believe I can take, and now we gonna play rook on a1. So I try to capture the pawn on a3. Still, I did not change, so my bishop in theory could become extremely powerful. Now he might change, but is it a good change? Maybe he takes, but it's alright because I'm gonna take the pawn, and the a pawn is just so powerful. Now we will see the power of the a pawn in combination with the bishop on d4. So the bishop supports. It's getting extremely tricky for white. He wants to take and then to play knight on g5 and take another pawn on f7. Not a bad idea. My opponent is playing good game, but is it enough? I think we should be able somehow to promote the pawn. Just we need to think how to do that. a4 take, a5 take, a4, knight on g5. I'm gonna take, king e8. King e8 feels slow and ugly, so this is not something that I would like to do. Let's give a check first, just to see where the king goes. So we have here in theory, but there is a knight. How can we win the current position? Not easy. No easy win. Okay, let's go back. Because he has to play back, probably. No, he goes king on e2, so maybe it gives us now some extra chances. Not really. Not really. I don't see something better than just to push the pawn, but strange. Strange, there should be something more evil. I don't see a better solution. This is weird. There should be something. I don't see something. Okay, let's push. Let's push, because I don't see something better. Let's play here. Let's go a4. Let's try to promote the pawn. So we play the move a3. King e8. And I will try to promote the pawn. So this is the idea. Let's see if we can. Doesn't look like we can, by the way. But let's see, because the a7 pawn, a7 square is covered. And that's why I'm hoping to promote the pawn. Let's give it a check. Next move is a2. Is it a pawn promotion? Or not yet, because there is a check, but I can probably play the move king on d7. Yes, this is what is happening here. And just a simple rook on c2, I think. Followed by a1 queen. That's it. Finally, black is promoting the a pawn. So the bishop, this is what we've been playing for. The bishop decides the game, and we can see the power of the bishop, by the way. Unbelievably powerful bishop. Bishop is like everywhere. What is this? What is this? Okay, let's just go back. So now we take. Okay, so he plays a position with rook down. Difficult to be successful in positions with a rook down, but it's a blitz game, so this is probably what my opponent is hoping for. Okay, let's take. So let's give him a check. Let's go away. Now it's very important not to blunder something big. Let's be safe. Let's be very, very safe. So we are slowly collecting the material. I'm so slow with the mouse. I'm so slow with the mouse, this is terrible. I have to be faster. Wow, he's so fast. He's so incredibly fast. Whoa, I won on time, but I'm so bad when it comes to seconds. This is terrible. In the end, I have my advantage. Yeah, it was just too much not to win, but I am not very good when it comes to seconds, but yeah. Lucky in the end somehow to win the game, but yeah, this was not a moment of glory. But before, it was a nice game. Before, I think we played a cool game. In the end, it was less cool, but somehow a win. Okay, next game we have here 4 knights. I like to play 4 knights. It looks like not the best opening ever, but actually 4 knights pretty tricky. By the way, in case you enjoy my comments, you enjoy the content on VChess, please like, subscribe. This would help us very much to grow the channel. So, knight on d5, d6, very strange play by my opponent. Knight on d5 feels not so good because I just want to win a piece. Bishop takes c6, next by just winning a full piece. Bishop on a5, wow. What is this? Let's go with the move d4, so we just push. Once you have advantage in development, you feel the opponent's king here is on e8, pretty poorly placed, you just push. This is what every top chess player is doing. Once you feel you have advantage in development, you don't miss it, so you just go for eventually a full point, in case you can, obviously. Bishop on g4. Can I go h3? Take, 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 and bishop g5. Maybe I can play also the bishop g5 idea instantly. Also here, no idea what is the next move of black. Many options. Many good options here. So, what should we do? I think bishop g5 is looking like a nice move to be played. Almost a deadly pin here. And my pin is not so deadly because the knight on c6 is still pinned. This is the advantage. Short castle. Alright. I think I can just take, no? Just to take is looking powerful. Oh, h3 also looks very powerful, so which one? Which one should I play? I think I should just take, because the bishop on a5 also out of the game. So I have many good options here. Knight on e3 feels very nice. To take also feels very nice. So let's just take, because why not? And bishop h6 or bishop h4. Once again, difficult decision because both is looking very good. Maybe bishop h4 just to be here. To control. E takes d4. In case I take, what could be the next move of black? No idea, so let me take it. Because bishop takes f6 is coming next. Is there a defense against bishop takes f6? I don't see a defense. Maybe king on g7, but then why to take on d4 so early? I think black could have waited a little bit with bishop taking on d4. Now I can take on f6, or maybe I just go first. G takes f3. Bishop takes f6 is not running away from us, and we have this beautiful king h1 idea. Very, very strong. In case I manage to play king h1, it is game over. So, I can take the pawn this route. Endgame almost winning for white, but it feels like I should go for more than just an endgame. Queen on d5, queen on f5, looks very good. Queen e3, followed by queen h6, also looks like game over. So, what should I play here? No idea. Let's go queen h3 maybe, no? Maybe. How to defend from queen h6, bishop takes f6, and king to h1. So he wants to put the rook on g8, yes, of course, but is it enough to defend? So let's go king on h1. Now rook to g1, because black is playing just a bishop down. Bishop down position. Hard to imagine that it's possible to hold something like this. f6 is still under attack. Maybe there's king on g7, so actually I cannot win the position instantly. I think I made somewhere a mistake because it looked like a completely winning position. Still, it should be winning, but it's a fight. It's a fight. I think I should have played better. I made a mistake somewhere. Maybe queen f5, f4, still a win, but I made somewhere big mistake. Okay, queen f5, still a beautiful position. Thank you very much for the nice comments in the chat. In case you are enjoying my comments, that's great. That's why I'm here. I try to explain a little bit the ideas of the position, the way I see them, and I hope it can be useful for your own practical games in the future. Still, I cannot win the current position by force. There is this queen e6 coming next. Unbelievable that white is still not winning. It looks like it should be a game over, but I don't see how to finish the current game. Yeah, before, of course, I made few big mistakes because I could have won the game. I just thought this is a win, but not yet, not yet. What we do here? Bishop is bad, but it would be good to do something on the king side. But queen e5 coming next. Change of queens. This is not what I would like to do with the white. To put the queen back doesn't feel like a great idea. So actually, how to win the current position? No idea. No idea. Out of nowhere, black is fighting. This is bad. Okay, let's return with the queen because I don't want to change the queens. I would like to keep the queens on the board in case I can. Idea f4, f5, but there is also rook e8. White is better, but it's not a win. This is pity. I think I have missed a very, very good winning chance. Now it's a huge game. Now maybe somewhere even he wants to change the rooks or something. Not sure. Okay, let's go with the move bishop on g3. I would like to avoid queen e5. It should be still better for white, but it's not much, so we have a new game. New game has begun after my mistakes. But okay. Let's go queen h5. Now we have at least a beautiful position of the queen. Black cannot change the queen, at least not so fast. Bishop still quite bad. On a5, maybe there is something like bishop f4 check, but he just goes back. It doesn't help me much to check. So what can I do to win the game? Rook on g8, also good move by my opponent, playing very solid now. Before, I think my opponent played not so well, but now he improved. Now he's playing good chess, fighting like a lion. I want to bring my rook into the game because he's still playing bishop down. It's just so weird that I have bishop up in the attack and there is no way to give a checkmate. Very strange. situation. I have the move bishop on g5. He's gonna take. Yeah, he wants to play this kind of position. Or should I move the queen somewhere? I think I should go bishop f4. Okay, let's go bishop f4. Probably we will see rook takes g1. Yes, this is what we see. And king here, because there is nothing else. So, I probably have to take. And let's put everything on white. So I play against the bishop on a5. This is my idea. A little bit better pawn structure for white. Not a big advantage, but maybe some advantage, because I use the idea of queen on g4 check in the right moment. I don't need to do it now. I will try to execute it a little bit later. So h6. So we have the idea queen g4, and this is gonna force black to enter this endgame. Is it a draw or is it a win for white? The structure of white, as you can see, is so beautiful, because I have all the pawns on the light squares. So we should always put the pawns on the opposite color of opponent's bishop in the best case. Queen on g4 looks so powerful. King cannot move. So let's go with the move c4, I believe. Yeah, let's play the move c4. We advance our pawn structure. There is no d5, and next I believe this should be a win. Let's see. Welcome everyone to the chat. I hope you're enjoying my comments here. We play rapid games and we're just enjoying the beauty of chess. There is no stress, there is no nothing, just pure enjoyment. We try to play also interesting games, so there is something going on the chessboard. Is it a win? It looks like a win, so let's go for it. Now to take is sort of forced, and the bishop keeps the king forever on g8. So how can I win the current position? I need to make a winning plan here. The winning plan could be attack one of the pawns. So for example, bishop on d2 looks like a good plan, because I'm just gonna win the pawn. But before playing on bishop on d2, I believe I should improve first my pawns. So for example, h4, h5 looks good. And obviously this is one of the ideas. I have few ideas that could lead here to a win by white. But the most simple one is the idea of playing bishop on d2 now that the pawn is on a5. I can play first a4, so we have like all the pawns on the light squares. Actually quite beautiful. Quite beautiful to have the pawns on the light squares. Very funny as well that the king from g8 has literally 0 squares. Completely 0 squares. Nowhere to go. My idea is to win some of the pawns that are placed on the dark color. f5, he sacrifices a pawn, he tries to survive, maybe not a bad idea, but I can just take it, so I control that there is still no d5 at the moment. And as promised, I go for the a5 pawn. That's it, the game is done. We are winning. We are winning here. a5 is falling. Still a lot of time for us on the clock. We just took the pawn. Now h3. Now we will just move to h6, and that's it. We have all the time in the world, so we can be very relaxed here. We can play as well the move h4 first, because it literally does not matter. Next move, bishop on d2. Next move, king on g4, then king on h5, then king on h6. Slow play, but sometimes slow and safe is not a bad option. So, let's go. King on g4, king on h5, very, very safe and slow. All in all, not a bad game, but I should have won the game earlier. Still, nothing to complain about. This was nice. Let's go with the next one. Thank you very much for the nice comments in the chat, and welcome everyone to VChess. My name is Arkady Naiditsch. I am a chess grandmaster, and I am commenting the way I see chess for you, so we can enjoy together and try to understand what is actually happening on the chessboard. In case you like my comments, please like, subscribe to the channel. Thanks for that. We have the French defense, so let's play with the move knight on c3, the French defense, knight f6, bishop on g5. The main move is e5, but I think the bishop g5 line is not so bad, and h4. Tricky move h4, with sacrifice here, the pawn on g5. Let's see if the pawn is going to be taken or not. Quite interesting moment, because it's not a must to take, but I think in case black wants to fight, black should take. We will see very, very funny position after the bishop takes g5. So, let me see the comments. Why didn't you join the candidates? What a question. How can I join the candidates? This is not possible. A6. Can I play something like very, very dynamic queen on g4 with the idea take and queen takes g7? So yes. This is the idea of the move h4. So we keep this option of playing queen on g4, because usually we have queen on d1 and then we have to play knight on f3, so the queen is not getting out. Now that the queen is out, we put immediate pressure here on the pawn g7, so it is not easy. With black usually the idea is to play, of course, c5 followed by the move knight on c6, but currently c5 I think I can just take and win the pawn on g7, so this would be not so good for the player of black. It means that he has to maybe defend first the pawn on g7, but how to defend the pawn on g7? Here we go with a move f5. Quite creative way of playing, by the way. Not bad, not bad. So, I can take and I can play queen on g3. Both is looking like good, I think. For white, both deserves attention. So queen on g3 or to take. I don't know. I don't know what is better. Let's play... I don't know. Both is looking good. So this is a problem that we have when you're playing a chess game. When you have one option, it's very easy, but when you have a couple of options, you start to hesitate because you think, okay, I can do this, I can do that, and finally, usually nothing good comes out of it. This is a usual case when you're hesitating. But okay, let's play the move queen on g3. I would like to play knight on f3 next. It's very good that I have this option here to change the bishops in case I need to. Let's go knight f3. Most probably we'll see the move knight on c6. This would be normal. And maybe I will just take on c5 or long castle. So long castle also looks very, very interesting, but I believe why not just to take on c5, knight takes, and here we go with a long castle. Knight on e4, potentially quite powerful, by the way. Yeah, maybe I should have long castled immediately. I don't like so much what I did. Still, position remains Very, very uncertain, but I don't like what I did. Not the best, maybe not the best. Let's see what happens next. It would be great for white to have this knight on e2 next, followed by knight on d4, a beautiful knight, but the problem is that black gets to e4 so easily. So I would like to avoid the black knight on e4, but how to do that? I don't think I can. So tricky position, way too tricky, because I had such a good position out of opening and now it gets somehow very, very tricky. Queen to a5, but I think I can just take and win the pawn. Why is my opponent giving me the pawn on g7? I don't know, so I am gonna take it. Looks good. Take and take. So bishop on d7. Wow. Rook c8, so it's like a long-term play for compensation, but I don't believe in compensations like that. It doesn't look like it is a compensation. Just we have to be very, very solid with the white pieces. So let's go maybe first king on b1, never bad. To defend from this queen takes a2 at some good moment. Very, very safe play, good play. Knight gets to d4 next. Let's be safe. Maybe queen h5 at some moment with a check, but I believe I should put the knight on d4 or the knight on g5, so both is looking good, but very strange sacrifice by my opponent because there's been no reason to do that. White to sacrifice. So yeah. I see a question, why not to develop the bishop first? Yes, it's possible to develop the bishop, but where to go with the bishop? This is the thing. Not so many squares to go with the bishop. Bishop e2, maybe, but how does it help me? I believe I have the option of playing here the move knight on g5, no more rook f7. Knight is not so bad on g5. Maybe with some luck I might even try to play h5, h6. Maybe I can play queen h5 check. If the king goes here, then I'm given another check and get the knight on d6 potentially. So yeah, it looks like a great idea. And I have another great defense idea here, by the way, for white. And it is to play rook h3. Look at this beautiful defense. The rook is getting into the game immediately on the third rank, so it's very, very important defense idea in a lot of Sicilians. White is defending with a move for rook h3, putting rook to the third rank, and from there is no more attack for black. So in case I need, I will defend with a move for rook on h3. Let's see what happens next. There is still no long castle because I can take the knight, rook on c8. As we spoke, in the worst case, I have the move rook on h3, but I think there might be even something better. This is like, in case I find nothing else, I just put my rook to h3. So it all feels very, very safe. So I see a question in the chat if I have ever played against Magnus. Yeah, I played Magnus many, many times. We had a lot of classical games. Bishop on c6. What could be the idea of bishop on c6? Maybe the idea is to play king on d7. So my opponent wants to connect his rooks. Makes sense. Makes sense. So not a bad move at all. What can I do here with the white pieces? No, this kind of rook connection is not like super dangerous, but it could be unpleasant. Let me see. Can I somehow give a check to the king on d7? Very difficult. Very, very difficult, by the way, to give even a check to the king on d7. It must be something like knight h7, knight f6. Yes, this is possible, or maybe it's time for me to retreat with my queen from h7, maybe just to go back. Currently, white was a 2 pawns up, so a beautiful, beautiful position for white. Let's see if we have something tactical here, but I don't see. I don't see something tactical. Maybe there is some crazy stuff like G4, but way to play it. We have 2 extra pawns. There's no need for that, so let's just give a check. Followed by queen to f3 or queen to e2. I don't know where is the queen better. Maybe on e2 just to give like 0 chances. I am getting ready for the move h5, h6 in the future. I have knight h7 attacking the rook, putting my knight on f6, which is also looking very, very good. 2 pawns up for white, which should be already enough advantage to win the game. So many good things about the position of white. With black, doesn't seem like there is something direct. So in case there is nothing direct, usually 2 pawns up is enough to win the game. So what do we have? I had the option of putting knight on d6. Yes, knight on d6 also beautiful, but knight is on d6 on one hand, beautiful knight on the other hand, not doing much. That's why I thought more easy just to have the queen on e2. So yeah, let's see what happens next. King on c7, so he tries to escape with the king. Let me play the move queen on e3. Queen is nicely positioned here, and maybe now to develop the bishop, so it is a final move of the development. As well, I have a little trick in mind to take, and then we have this monster fork on e6. Currently, the position is looking beautiful for us. Looks like it's gonna be a win, but in blitz chess and rapid chess, it's never late to make a blunder. So we have to stay focused, but we are going the right direction at the moment. The things are looking pretty nice. Is it time to push the pawn? Or should I play like f4? So many good options here for white. I don't know which one to choose. Maybe let's push h5. So it's time. It's time to promote the pawn. We waited long enough to do something. Now let's finally go for the decisive pawn push. Rook on c8. We continue. The pawn is so near to h7. Now we have the pawn on h7, one step away, f4. Alright, so let's put the queen to a safe position. Where is a safe position for the queen? Queen on d2 looks very, very safe, so let's put it here. This pawn is a future queen. So yeah. I think that's it. I think that's it, because with black, very, very difficult to do something against the pawn on h7. Still white with 2 extra pawns here. There is no rush to do anything. We can slow play the position. Full domination on the chessboard. So lucky little bit that our opponent gave us these 2 pawns on g7 and h7, but overall I think quite a good game. Quite a good game. No big blunders, which is already a good game. So in case we don't blunder something heavy, we can say it's not bad, because in online chess so easy to miss something, and then yeah, the position is just completely changing. The pawn on e5 is theoretically hanging, but we have this, for example, knight f7 move, just winning exchange immediately. Maybe we can even go for something more than that, but is it enough to win exchange, or should we go for more? I don't know. We can choose here. Maybe go for more or win exchange. I don't know. I don't know. What should we do? What should we do here? I think to win exchange is not a bad idea, so let's go for it. Maybe I have something better, but it's just a safe win as it looks. Black has to take. We're gonna play h8. So the rook here on h1. We will win an exchange. And then we still have exchange plus a pawn up, which should be enough to win the game. Quite easy plan. h8 queen. Now take. King on a7, and we will try to attack the pawn on f4. Easy move. Rook on h4. Let's grab some more material. As Garry Kasparov always said, a chess player has to be greedy. So in case you're a chess player and you're greedy, that's a good attitude. I think we can do little tactics here just for fun, because it's funny tactic. Knight on b5. Take. And b4. So two knights are under attack. Knight on e4. We gonna take. He's gonna give me a check probably. We go king here and take. Actually, I played quite poorly, I believe, because why I did this. Why did I do that? Still, I guess we will win the game, but why did I do that? No idea. What is the idea of black? It's here, maybe. Bishop d5, maybe. So let's go with rook h6. Trying to attack the pawn on e6. Out of nowhere. It's not an easy win. But we're gonna win the game because he has so little time on the clock. Now, by the way, it is a win already. This broken game should be easily winning. Let's collect the pawn on f4. King e4. And we're gonna promote the e pawn. So how do we do that? I think we can just take. Rook here. Here. Soon the e pawn will start to run, and then that's it. Let's go rook to b6 just to be safe. Because I think it doesn't matter what we do here, we are winning, so there's no way to save this position for black to a draw. Welcome everyone who just joined the VChess channel. I hope you're enjoying my comments here. We have, by the way, a beautiful application that you can try for yourself. It's for the full family fun. Great app. It starts easy, gets more difficult. Otherwise, please like, subscribe. In case you're enjoying my comments. We won the game. Let's go with the next one. Let's go. Who will be our next opponent? Let me read. Knight on b5 somewhere. Yeah, maybe. I could have won way earlier with the move knight on b5. That's true, little tactics. I did not see the tactics. Next game we have Sicilian. This time I'm playing with the black pieces as Sicilian. Bishop on b5. Which line should we choose to play here? Let's play the line with the move g6. You tried the app, HDBM. How did you like the app? It starts a little bit strange with this Tetris game, but I think it's good. It's good because many who make their first steps into the world of chess, they don't know the pieces. So you play a little bit the Tetris game, but as soon as you get to level 3 or 4, then we have the normal chess game. So approximately to pass all the story, I think it's approximately 40-50 minutes in case you go very fast. Then you pass through all the educational story, and the next stories will be endgame and puzzle, which are much harder. So once you complete the educational story, then it gets really tricky. So yeah. Ah, you lost to the bot. Oh, what happened? Usually when you play safe, you win against the first bots. The first bots are not so difficult, yeah? You lost to the bot. Strange. This is what's strange, because the first level bots are not so good. Okay, let's go back to the game. What do we have here? We have Sicilian, which I think is looking pretty decent for a black. Bishop on e3. Can I sacrifice here as a pawn to have this beautiful bishop g4 idea? Maybe. On the other hand, is it something that I should play? Maybe not, because what is the point of that? Let's just take and play the move d6, so we play very, very solid. Usually it's good to have knight on g4, followed by the move knight on e5. Next we have the beautiful bishop here on g7. The bishop on c4 could be good, could be bad, but we have a6, b5, e6 idea, so yeah. I see a question in the chat. How old were you when you became a GM? I think it was 15. I've been 15 years old when I became GM so long ago. 25 years ago. All right. Rook on b1. By the way, Hadi BM, you don't need to pass the 350 elo bot. I think you can just continue the educational story. It's not an obligation to pass the bot. So, knight on g4, attacking the bishop on e3, preparing the knight e5 idea. Very, very typical. I don't know what is the rook doing on b1. Maybe b4, but the knight is hanging. What is the use case of the rook? Not so obvious. So let's go with the move knight on e5. Attacking the queen, and next we will take the bishop. So black is gonna have the bishop pair. I guess it means small but quite pleasant advantage. Not big, not big, but something small. Let's see what happens next. Let's see. What could be the move by white now? The queen is under attack, so queen e2, I guess. Queen on g3, more aggressive approach by my opponent. He wants maybe to try to checkmate me, but it's gonna be very difficult. Once you have the bishop on g7, usually to checkmate is almost impossible, but it's a try. Okay, how can we do something on the queen side? Just simple. a6, b5 is looking decent. I can also put bishop to e6, and I can also play the move f5, so we have variety of options here with the black pieces. Which one should we choose to play on? I don't know. I like the move a6 because b5 is looking powerful. So first, let's see what white is gonna do against the move b5. Knight on d5. Alright, we have the move e6. Why not to play e6? Maybe the idea is to play bishop g5, but then I have also the move f6. Not dangerous. Let's go with the move b5. Why not? We had the idea of playing the move b5, so now we play the move b5. What is the educational story? Yeah, in the VChess app, in our app, you start with an educational story. So yes. Welcome everyone to VChess. In case you have some questions, please write them in the chat. If I see them, I will answer. Otherwise, please like, subscribe, in case you're enjoying my comments. Let's go with the move f6. It looks ugly, but actually we keep the bishop alive. We have this pressure here on the a file, and later we might play for the bishop pair advantage in the late endgame. So personally, I like to make this kind of long-term plan. When I look at the position, I'm always considering, alright, at the moment, of course, queens are on the board, but what is gonna happen in case queens are gone? So we plan short-term, we plan long-term, very important. Then it's like you have a gameplay, you say, alright, this is what I want, endgame, endgame, no endgame, no endgame. So you're ready for, doesn't matter what is happening next. I think quite important. Alright, let's go with the move e6. to get rid of the knight on d5. The knight has to come back. Let's see, knight e3 probably. Yes, queen on e7 being very, very solid here. Quite a beautiful pawn structure for black. d6, potential weakness, but can be easily defended by rook on d8 or rook on a6. I don't know, where should I go? Maybe rook on a6 for the moment to keep the rook on f8. Maybe I will play somewhere the move f5. Not yet, of course. To change the bishops would be not the best idea ever, but in the future. In the future might be something good. Rook on d3. He wants to double on the d file. Yeah, makes perfect sense. Let me play bishop b7 to attack the pawn on e4. So let's see what comes now. Pawn is under attack. To play f3 feels quite unpleasant for white, in my opinion. So f3 might be not the best, but otherwise, how to defend the pawn on e4? I have potentially moves like rook a4 as well to put some extra pressure. So now white wants to take on d6 to change the e4 pawn against the d6 pawn. Well, it's alright for black. I think I can take and be eventually maybe a little better with the black pieces, but it's not much. So I would prefer somehow to defend the pawn on d6 in case I can. How to do that? I see only the option of rook to d8 will bring the piece into the game, but looks good. This is looking like a nice decision. Rook is doing not so much on f8, so we put it to d8, we defend the pawn on d6. Looks very, very logical. Now, is there an option of playing d5? Take, 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 take. We give a check, there is queen to f2, so no d5 at the moment. We have to prepare. We have to get ready for the move d5. How to do that? Let's think a little bit. How can we execute the move d5 in a good way? Not so easy. Not so easy. Maybe to play something like c4, but this is bad because he's gonna put the bishop to b4, so this is not what we should do. How to get the d5 push? Not easy. I thought it should be possible to play the move d5, but how to make it happen? To play f5, I don't like so much. White is gonna take, and not what we should do here. Well, very difficult to get the d5 idea. I thought should be possible, but no. I think very, very difficult. Okay, let's do some move like rook to d7. Some positional move. It's not like I have something direct, but just to put the piece a little bit better. Eventually bishop on f8. At the current moment there might be knight to g4 idea, so let's play some positional chess. Rook on d7. So, what happens next? What happens next with white? Also very, very difficult to find something reasonable. Play bishop h6, knight on g4 is a problem. Double attack, so I will have to go back. He goes back by himself. This is strange because I think knight was quite nicely placed on e3, so why to go back? And now I have the chance of playing the move d5 in my opinion. So I go with the move d5. Probably he's going to take, and I have to decide to take with a bishop or to take with a pawn. Not an easy decision because both is looking decent. I don't know. Should I take with a bishop or should I take with a pawn? Maybe with a pawn. Not sure because there is some check at the moment. This check is not very dangerous, but it could get dangerous. So, but I think it does work or it doesn't. So there's rook to e3, rook e6. Check, take, rook e1. Dangerous. Dangerous. I have to be a little bit careful here. Maybe to change one pair of rooks, but is this an easy win? Because it would be very, very good for me to go into an endgame. Just I'm not sure how to reach it, so... Okay, maybe to take is okay, because in case of rook to e3 or rook e1, I would like to go queen on d6. Endgame should be already very, very good, because I want to go d4 next. I still keep the bishop pair, so this is what we spoke about. That eventually the bishop pair is going to be very, very powerful. Let's see what happens next. If I'm in time to play the move d4, this position will be much better for black. If he's in time to do something unpleasant, then it might be a fight. So the next couple of moves will decide on the game. If black reaches an endgame, that's it. In endgame, I think the advantage of black will be obvious. This is what we wanted by playing the move f6, keeping this bishop pair for the future, hoping one day we will see an endgame, and one day this endgame is going to be better. Welcome, welcome everyone who is new to VChess. Please like, subscribe in case you're enjoying my comments. What could be the next move by my opponent? Rook to e1, we play the move queen d6 as we spoke. Trying to get an endgame, trying to... Yes, endgame, wow. We play the endgame. Alright. So, step number 1. We managed to reach an endgame. Step number 2, to dominate the endgame. So, king f7 next. Maybe even d4, because why not? Just beautiful pawn on d4. King f7 next, f5 next. Bishop b7, bishop on g7. Very good bishops here. Knight on f1, out of the game. It looks like a very nice position here for the black pieces. So, bishop on d2, king f7. In endgame, we have to be very, very safe to bring the king to the center. One of the most important things. So before playing f5 or something else, let's put the king to f7. Now f5, of course, to block the knight from knight e4 idea. You can see how now the pawn f5 is controlling the knight on g3. Bishop on g7, very, very powerful. Bishop on b7, not that powerful, but as well, very good piece. Bishop on f4, we have to think, should we change pair of rooks? Should we keep the rooks on the board? Maybe just a simple rook on d5, so we have this beautiful pressure here on the d file. Maybe c4 next, then d3, c3, etc. Maybe also just h6, g5 would be enough to be better, or bishop f6 followed by the move g5 also looks very, very good. But c4 just so natural. We will play some c4 next. Let's go c4, bishop b7, bishop g7, so nice. It looks just so beautiful. No counterplay for white h4, well, not very dangerous. Now we have to think how to finish the game here. Is it the move d3, but then we let cd happen? Yes, it is much better, but it's not like immediately winning. It would be great to finish the game on the spot. So how can we do that? The knight on e2 can only move to f4. Can we somehow get d3 in a good version? Maybe first bishop f6, because I think it's useful. And here, or rook e7 next. Let's see. Let's see where we will go. Bishop on g5, quite a nice idea, but now I thought I should be able to play the move d3, or I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake, so let's go back because we have all the time in the world. No problem. We have sometimes to admit a mistake, so I admit, this was not the best. Rook on d2. Okay, now the bishop on g5, not doing so much. Still the idea c3, d3 should be our main goal. And maybe h6 first. So he has to return to f4. And c3, is it a win? Or d3 also? This is looking like almost a winning position, I think. I don't know if I should do that. Not sure. Also, this is looking so good. Many good options, but maybe first bishop on f6. So we take the h4 to make even more weaknesses in the position of white. h4 is hanging, g5 is next, so he's gonna take. Yeah, now we take, attacking the rook. The rook has to go somewhere. g3. All right, now bishop is back. f3 pawn is weak, so in case of bishop f4, there is g5. We try to catch the bishop maybe with the move g5, but I think we can just play g5 or d3. One of these two. Okay, let's go with the move g5. Now d3. I have to play a little bit faster because now we have this little time on the clock. There is rook on f3 check and pawn is hanging on b2. So I'm gonna take the pawn. Now the c pawn is walking. Bishop pair. It's all about the bishop pair. He gives us a pawn. All right, let's take it. Let's go a3, a2. That's it. Bishop pair, complete domination on the chessboard. So let's go even bishop e4. That's it. a2 is coming next. There is no hope. We can even give a check here. Just for fun to take the rook, of course. Everything wins. And that's it. So I think quite a nice game. Well, it was a good strategy from the beginning to have this bishop pair. And slowly we reached an endgame, and then the bishop pair played a decisive role. So we won the game. Let's go with the next one. We have again the move f4 on the chessboard. Seems to be a very popular opening. I don't know why, but it seems like that. So take, e4. Okay, what is the idea of white to block the bishop like that? I don't know. I don't know what could be the idea of this opening. So let's play something normal like knight on e7. Short castle, very normal play. I believe that black is having an excellent position here. b3. Wow. My opponent plays f4, b3, left, right, center. He is everywhere. So, what we do next? Knight on d4 is normal, or to play something like h6. Preparation for the move f5, quite useful. Maybe we should go f5, f4, by the way, immediately, not looking bad. Or first to develop the bishop to e6 to be solid, and then to play f5, but why not to push f5, f4. Bishop on b2, again the pawn on e5, usually not the best idea ever. So we play the move f4. Now g5 is coming next. We play very positional chess, very safe. No reason to risk much in this position with the black pieces. I think we're doing well. Of course, it is a fighting position, yes, but I think that chances of black are at least equal. Maybe even I would prefer to be black here. I don't like to play with the bishop on b2 because the bishop is so bad long term. On b2, if I manage to play g5, basically white bishop on b2 is sort of quite bad. So let's see what happens next. Let's see what happens next. Knight on c4. No, he takes. Now I can take with the pawn or with the rook. Both is good. Both is good, but I like to take with the pawn because this g5 connection next is so powerful. Then knight on g6. And as well, at the current moment, I control the dark squares, which is also very, very important. Maybe there is d4 coming next, so this is something that I would prefer to avoid. Maybe b5, by the way, is possible because he has to go back. Okay, so let me play the move b5, because also this is very good to play bishop g4 to put the knight on d4, but I think I can go b5. The knight has nowhere to go except go back. Of course, this is very accidental chance by black. It's not something that I planned, but sometimes when you get a chance to do something that works, you just do it. I can play the move queen on d6, attacking the knight. The pawn cannot be taken because of queen c5 check, so looks like a good idea. Let's go for it. Knight is under attack. Probably we will see a move like queen on c1 and g5. So knight on g6 followed by the move g4 is coming next. No, but now he can take, yeah? Maybe he can take check here, g4. Okay, now the game is getting very, very tactical. Actually, I wanted to avoid such a tactical game, but probably I made somewhere not exactly the best move. So now we have a very tactical battle here. Should I go like queen c5, queen on b6? It would be much better to put the queen on g6, because this g4 f3 is basically a game over, but how to get there? Let me see, queen on g6, does it work? I'm a little bit scared. Not 100% that this is the best. Okay, let's go with the move queen on c5. Just to be safe, there is d4 and queen on b6, so I defend the pawn on b5. I would like to play g4 f3 next. If I manage g4 f3, it should be a very, very good position. Knight on a3 out of the game, so this is as well one of the advantages here for us to play with a bad knight. Not so simple. We have still here the spin. So the next move, I think, is going to decide the game. If white has something, white should hurry. A slow play is basically good evening with the move g4, and very soon good night. So white has to do something. White has to do something here fast. Welcome everyone who is new to VChess. My name is Naiditsch, I'm a chess grandmaster, and here we're just enjoying some rapid games. With my comments, I try to comment the way I see the positions. And yeah, just a chill, enjoy evening of chess. Very easy here on VChess. We love the game, so just to play, just to enjoy, and maybe to become a little bit better chess player. Knight on e3, attacking rook disappeared to e1. So what comes next now for black? It looks very good here with a knight on e3, and I think I have a nice idea to play knight on e7 followed by knight f5. The little problem here is that sometimes maybe knight takes g5 is possible, so I have to be a little bit careful with a sacrifice here. But I would like to activate my queen, and this I can only do by playing knight on e7, or to push maybe g4 immediately, trying to give a checkmate. Might be not a bad idea, because with a bit of luck, I think I'm gonna give a checkmate. It feels not like it is a must. I don't know. I don't feel like I should play the move g4. Sometimes it's just your feeling that you're referring to. Maybe something like bishop f5, so useful. Bishop on f5, beautiful piece. Not giving this knight on c2 idea. Knight on e3 is so powerful. So positional play. Positional play. Still, it is a fight, but it looks like a very good position for black. I can take on g2 in case I need to, which is already better for black, quite surely better. The white king would be so in trouble. Now exchange up for the black pieces. Is it enough to win the game? In normal circumstances it should be. But of course, let's see what happens next. So somewhere some sacrifices not working yet, so let's do the move knight e7. This is a move that we wanted to play the previous move, so it's not too late. Knight goes over g6 to f4. Positional play. Looks very solid. Knight on f4. Very powerful. So yeah. By the way, yeah, it's funny. I'm here on chess.com as Captain James. I think I made this account maybe, I don't know which year it was, at least 20 years ago. I think it was the first time when I registered on chess.com, because back then everyone played on ICC. And then chess.com became one of the playing servers. And I think Captain James was some guy from some book that I read back then, and I just took the nickname. It has absolutely no connection to my name, obviously. So yeah. Okay, now we have the beautiful knight on f4. Bishop on g2 still can be taken. I can transport my queen from b6 to g6 to h5 in the right spot. So many options here. I see something with knight on d5. I could not play knight on d5 because there was knight takes g5 with a check, and then the bishop would take the knight, so I don't think it was working. In the current stage of the game, I think we should have a winning position here. So all we need to do is just to give a checkmate to the white king. So let's go. Queen on g6 with the idea of queen h5, or to take, then bishop e4, queen h5. I think it should be almost over here. g4 coming as well. It's not that I have an exchange up, which of course is very good, but as well it looks like a mating attack coming now on the white king. So he just takes. Alright, let's go with the mating attack, g4. Let's open, let's get the rooks into the game. I don't care about the pawn c7. Yeah, maybe I should have played more careful, but it feels like it doesn't matter here. It feels just like a checkmate. To defend with an open king on h2, I don't think it's possible. So let's go with a very direct attack. Queen on g5, or queen on g5, I think is looking like. He wants to take on f5 and take a8. Ooh, I didn't see that, but we're lucky to have knight on takes g2. So this is the luck of the position. When you have a beautiful position, usually the luck is on your side. So everything is fine, because I just missed that he can take the f5 knight first, but then we're gonna take first on g2. So everything is under control here. I could have played way better. Yeah, I should not give him this b5 pawn. This was very unnecessary to do that. He still takes, so let's take. No, probably queen takes, because what else? And we just take here. The rook is under attack. Rook f8 is coming next with the idea rook f2. The knight is very far away on b5, so the knight is completely out of the game. We have now like extra rook in the attack. It should be enough to win the game. When you're attacking, then sometimes it's the most simple just to count your attacking pieces and defending pieces, because the rest doesn't matter so much. So for example, the knight, in case the knight would be on e4, yeah, it would be very unclear. But knight is so far away. It means I have queen and two rooks in the attack. The rook is going to join the game. right now here with the move rook f8, so the probability to win the game is very, very high. Except there is something forced. Yes, maybe, but I don't see what. Except something forced. Black is having a winning position because of the extra piece in the attack, so the evaluation of the position gets quite easy, in my opinion. You just count attacking pieces, you count the defenders, and in case you have more attacking pieces than the defenders, it means your attack is very, very dangerous. In most of the cases, you have to calculate. Chess is a game of tactics, obviously, but more or less it is counting attackers, counting defenders in case the king is open. And king on h2 is very, very open. Okay, we have 2 more minutes running down for our opponent. At the current moment, it looks very, very good for us. I think I can just play the move rook f8 to give him the pawn on g4, and then, for example, to play the move queen on e3 followed by the move rook f2 looks like a game over. Also, just to play queen e7 back after rook f8 looks like a game over. What should I do? Queen f4 also looks like a game over, so many options, but I personally believe in rook f8. We have the extra piece in the attack, so it should be winning for black. Queen on e3, queen on e7. Not sure where to put the queen best. So yeah, where should we put the queen to win the game, like to 100%? I believe to e7, but also e3 is looking winning. Where to put the queen? Where to put our queen? Maybe e3 is more easy. Because how to defend from the move rook f2 next? Is there a defense? Not so easy. Not so easy for white. Knight completely out of the game, so by the logic, it should be winning for black. Sometimes it can get still quite tactical, but if nothing major happens, we should be able to win the game. Knight, knight, knight on b5. Too far away. In case of rook on g7 check, there is king h8. My king feels pretty safe at the current moment because of the rook f2 idea, so no dangerous threats for white at the moment. Rook f2 is coming next, and of course we have also way more time on the clock. It should be enough to win the game. Now, should we change or should we not change? I think both is possible, but I think to change is just easier because he also has so little time on the clock, so we give a check. And now we should be able here to checkmate, I believe. Let's give him another check. Is it not a checkmate yet? h5 next. And then rook h2 with a checkmate. Or do I miss something? If I don't miss, this is just a checkmate. Knight on c7, so h5. And rook on h2. Rook h3 next is a checkmate. That's it. That's it. All in all, a nice game, I believe. We played quite a nice game. Positional. We aimed against the white king. And slowly, we got to the white king. So the game ends with a checkmate. I hope you enjoy this kind of games. Yeah, I hope you're enjoying my comments. In case you do, please like, subscribe to VChess. So, checkmate. Nice. All right. So, that's it from my side in today's stream. Tomorrow I will be commenting candidates. Please join me. I will be commenting from 7 p.m. Dubai time. I hope you enjoyed my comments. So I hope to see you tomorrow. And of course, don't be shy in the chat. You can ask all the chat questions. Just always ask the people to be polite. We try to keep here the chat clean. We try to have the good people in the chat, people that are thinking about the moves, not this young little boys who are writing all possible of crap in the chat. So this is what we are avoiding. We try to be very, very correct here, and to, of course, to try to learn something new so we become better chess players. Once again, thank you very much for watching. I hope to see you tomorrow, 7 p.m. Dubai time. I will be streaming the candidates round 5. Wish you all a great day, great evening, great morning, wherever you are, and till tomorrow. Thank you. Bye.